Today, we will talk about what is a budget. Plus 10 budgeting myths holding you back. A budget is an estimation of revenue and expenses over a specified future period of time. It's used by governments, businesses, and individuals at any income level. Budgets can be made for any entity that wants to spend money, and they're important for managing monthly expenses, preparing for unpredictable events, and affording big-ticket items without going into debt. A budget is essentially a financial plan for a defined period, usually a year, and is known to greatly enhance the success of any financial undertaking. It shows the trade-off made when one good is exchanged for another, and it can help set goals, measure outcomes, and plan for contingencies. Creating a budget involves calculating every type of income you receive each month, tracking your spending, tabulating all your monthly expenses, and making adjustments to ensure you stay within your budget. It's a financial plan that can be used by anyone to manage their finances over both the short and long-term horizon. The budget development process begins by establishing assumptions for the upcoming budget period, such as projected sales trends and cost trends. Specific factors affecting potential expenses are addressed and monitored within the process. Budgets are developed for all the different subsidiaries, divisions, and departments within an organization and get rolled up into the master budget. There are two major types of budgets: static budgets and flexible budgets. A static budget remains unchanged over the budgeting period, while a flexible budget has a relational value to certain variables, such as sales or production levels. Both types of budgets are useful for management, with a static budget evaluating the effectiveness of the original budgeting process and a flexible budget providing deeper insight into business operations. Personal budgets are extremely useful in managing an individual's or family's finances over both the short and long-term horizon. Creating and using a budget is not just for those who need to closely monitor their cash flows because money is tight, but almost everyone can benefit from budgeting, even people with large paychecks and plenty of money in the bank. There are several myths that stop people from keeping track of their finances and allocating money in the best way. Myth 1, I don't need to budget. Myth 2, I'm not good at math. Myth 3, my job is secure. Myth 4, unemployment insurance will tide me over. Myth 5, I don't want to deprive myself. Myth 6, I don't want anything big. Myth 7, I won't qualify for student financial aid. Myth 8, I'm debt-free. Myth 9, I always get a raise or tax refund. Myth 10, I just don't have the discipline. Traditional budgeting starts with tracking expenses, eliminating debt, and building an emergency fund. It's important to build a partial emergency fund at regular intervals, consistently devoting a certain percentage of each paycheck toward it and putting in whatever you can spare on top. Emergency money should only be used for true emergencies, such as a job loss or unexpected medical expenses. With a proper emergency fund, you won't need to use your credit card for paying for unexpected expenses. Creating space between your expenses and your income allows you to pay down debt and invest. This can be a process of substitution as much as elimination, cutting back on unnecessary expenses while saving and investing the extra cash. Increasing your income without a budget to handle the extra cash properly tends to make the gains slip through the cracks and vanish. But once you have your budget in place and have more money coming in than going out, you can start investing to create more income. To build a complete budget, you'll need to calculate your income and expenses, write it out, and put it in writing. A budget doesn't work if you don't see it, so you may have to make some adjustments initially just to stay within your budget. But once you've gone through the first few months, it should become easier to stick to it. Sticking to a budget isn't as easy as it may seem, but it's important to remember the big picture. By making it difficult to make impulse purchases, finding support from like-minded individuals, handling transactions in old-fashioned ways, and rewarding yourself, it becomes easier to stick to your budget. If you're in dire financial straits, there are some steps you can take, such as avoiding immediate disaster, prioritizing bills, reviewing spending, eliminating unnecessary expenses, negotiating credit card interest rates, keeping a budget journal, and seeking new sources of income. Creating a budget takes some work, including calculating every type of income you receive each month, tracking your spending, tabulating all your monthly expenses, and writing it down. The only way to reinforce your budget is to see it in writing. Here are 5 key takeaways. 1. A budget is an estimation of revenue and expenses over a specified future period of time and is utilized by governments, businesses, and individuals at any income level. 2. A budget is essentially a financial plan for a defined period, usually a year, and is known to greatly enhance the success of any financial undertaking. 3. Corporate budgets are essential for operating at peak efficiency. 4. Aside from earmarking resources, a budget can also aid in setting goals, measuring outcomes, and planning contingencies. 5. Personal budgets are extremely useful in managing an individual's or family's finances over both the short and long-term horizon. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.